Today is day 4 of Inktober 2025, and today we are going to use another black tile. I know our last video had a black tile, but I think it's appropriate for today's Inktober prompt, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. Hello, precious friends. Welcome to this video and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brenda Campbell. I'm an artist and a certified Zentangle teacher. If you're already a friend, thank you for returning. I'll be your guide as we go through the 8 steps of the Magical Zentangle Method of drawing. This is a practice, one that allows us to slow ourselves down and be here in this moment. A practice where we focus on one stroke at a time. This is a practice that can change your life, and I say that because it really has changed mine, and that's why I say it's magical. I hope you'll include a little bit of Zentangle in your routine, and I'm honored if you will let me be part of that journey. I am participating in the Inktober challenge this year, and today is day 4. I posted a short video where I talked about Inktober's origins and how it became an annual Zentangle challenge. Now you can find a link to that at the end of this video. My approach is a little bit different this year as I combine 2 Inktober lists. So grab some paper, a pen, and relax as we draw our 4th tile for Inktober 2025. As in the last video, the video for day 3, we are also using a black 3Z Zentangle tile. Now, if you don't have a black tile, you can use a black piece of paper. This triangle has equal sides and they all measure about 3.5 inches, which is about 8.89 centimeters. And if you don't have black paper, then just use white or whatever you have. There's no right or wrong here. I'm going to be drawing with a Sakura Jelly Roll 08, which is their standard jelly roll pen size, in white. I'm also going to use white chalk pencil and a tortillon to blend out my white chalk. So those are the tools that we will be using today. So let's talk a moment about our prompts for today. Jake Parker's prompt for Inktober 2025, day 4, is murky. And the tangle for today from Stephanie Jennifer's list is Toodles, which is deconstructed by Zentangle. So in order to come up with a good way to incorporate murky, the theme or prompt of the day, into my tile, I looked it up to see if I could get any clues from the definition. Now, I think I know what murky means in a vague way, but sometimes just a word or two from the definition will give me a cue or a clue as to how I can incorporate it with Zentangle. So the definition that I snatched was dark and gloomy, especially due to thick mist. And as soon as I read that, I knew how I was going to incorporate it. I'm going to use the Zentangle Tangle Mist as my second tangle in my day 4 tile. So now that you know what Jake's prompt and Stephanie's tangle are, we're going to go ahead and get started with step 1, gratitude and appreciation. So often I lead you in a breathing exercise for step 1, but for these little shorter videos, I really just wanted to take a moment and bring myself into this moment, to really become mindful and connected to now. And I want to appreciate the materials that I'm using today. I want to appreciate the time I'm taking for myself today. And I want to appreciate both Jake and Stephanie for giving us prompts to use on our tiles today. So I'm going to end this with just one big breath in and slow breath out. So go ahead and take your breath in and exhale slowly. And that is all there is to step 1, gratitude and appreciation. So for step 2, the corner dots, I'm going to pick up my white chalk pencil and I'm going to put a dot in each corner of my tile. Step 3 is a border, and I'm going to create that simply by connecting the dots in the corners. And there's my border. Now, step 4 is a string. Now, the Tangle Toodles can kind of stand on its own as a single unit. And so rather than drawing a string, I'm going to just get my pen out and we're just going to draw the Tangle Toodles. But I'm going to draw just one. So Toodles begins, actually, let me make sure my white pen works, and it does. So for our tangles, or Tangle Toodles, we are going to begin with kind of a curvy or a strange looking S shape. So it's going to kind of curl up here and then have this long top and then curl down there. So you can kind of see the S, but it's very shallow, I guess I'll say. Now we're going to kind of aura this initial S line, but we are going to connect it at each end with a point so that it will look something like this. I'm just going to go over this line a little bit. There, I think. I'll go over this one too. My white pen skipped a little because I was drawing at an angle instead of straight or up and down for my ink to flow. Okay, so the next step in Toodles is we're going to draw these little, I call them fescue shapes, if you're familiar with the Tangle fescue. And they come up from the side and kind of go out. And then you can fill this top part in with white ink. And then we'll do this same thing on the other side. And we don't have a lot of room here, so it's not going to come out away as far from this center as this one did. And that's okay. They don't have to be a match. Okay, so there is my next step. Now, after we've got our little fescue shapes, we are going to draw from the point up here. We're going to come down and draw like the side of a leaf, or if you want to consider it a leaf. And it comes up and stops there at that fescue line. And again, we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. I think I'll just darken this line a little bit more. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now, the final thing we can add is it's going to look like a little curl on this side of the leaf, if you will. And again, on the opposite side, do the same thing. And that is our Toodles pattern, or tangle. Now, we're going to draw mist as our tangle that's going to go behind our Toodles. And mist is a tangle that is really just a bunch of aura lines that, to make them interesting, we're going to curve them. You don't have to, but I will for this. And oftentimes I do curve them. Now we're going behind. And we stop before we reach the bottom. And then we want to add a couple of dots. And all we do from there is simply continue to aura. That first line. Flip it over and work from the other side. Okay, I think that's going to be good enough for mist. So we're finished with step 5, our tangles. I'm going to put my white pen away, and I'm going to pick up my white chalk pencil, and we are going to do a little shading, if you can call it shading. We're using white on black. It's really how we're going to add some contrast and a little bit of interest to this tile. So I am going to begin by putting a little bit of white chalk underneath the fescue shape and going all the way down to the point of the center. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And now I'm going to add a little bit around my toodles to separate it from the mist tangle underneath it. Okay, so let me get my tortillon out, and we will blend this out a little bit. Now I'm blending very gently on the black paper because I really don't want to tear it up, and it's a little bit more delicate than the white tiles. It's kind of like the tan tile was a little bit more delicate. Turning my tile so that I can try to get as close as possible to this white line without going over it. It's easier for me to see it when I'm turning my tile. Okay, so now I'm going to get my chalk back out, and I'm going to add a little bit underneath each of these curved sections inside my toodles. I will blend that out. I think I'll add white chalk in here just to give it some contrast and interest, I guess, more than anything else. And then I think I want to add a little bit of drama. I'm going to get my gel pen back out, and I am going to fill in this curved area with solid white. Okay, I'm happy with that for now. So my white gel pen is going back away. I'm picking my white chalk pencil back up. Now I'm going to give this a minute, this area here, a minute to dry, because gel ink will take a little while to dry. And I'm going to look in my mist pattern for where it kind of curves out. So that would be like right in here. blend that out and see how that looks. I'm also blending out the string line a little bit as I do that, just to keep it from being a stark line. You don't have to do that, that's a personal choice. Just needed a little bit more in there, I thought. And I don't know why, but for some reason it feels like I should add something to the center of my toodles. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to break this up. With some lines. I'm drawing on top of the chalk, which is a little bit of a challenge for my jelly roll pen, but I will manage. And when in doubt, aura, as Maria often says. So I will be done now with my day 4 of Inktober, tangles and shading. And next is step 7, to initial and sign. I'm gonna just put my chop right in here. And then I'll flip it over. I'm gonna make sure that ink is dry, giving it a minute. So this is day 4 of Inktober 2025. I'm gonna sign it. we'll date it offline. I'm going to give that just a second here to dry. And there we have our Day 4 tile, Murky and Toodles. Step 8, the final step in the Zentangle method, is just to sit back and appreciate again what you've done, appreciate the art that you've created, appreciate the time that you've taken for yourselves. I know I certainly appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you for joining me, and I will leave you today, as I always do, with this thought: be you and be happy.